Okay. I don't exactly know how this is going to work or if it will work. But I'm going to try to put my Pinterest up on the screen so that you guys can see something that I've been working on for a very long time. And by very long time, I think a couple of months. I thought of this actually many years ago when I was back in my day when I was on Instagram before I was retired. There was this artist on here. Actually, the Pinterest board is full of it. And I would see her art and I would say something feels a little weird, and I couldn't exactly put my finger on it, but after years of thinking and feeling the emotions that her art would present me with, I finally have rationalized my thoughts and why this kind of thing bothers me. So let's start, I don't know, should we start at the beginning, or I think we'll start with the most recent ones. So this board is called Kawaiification of Christianity Needs to be Studied, and that's exactly what we're doing today. And what I mean by Kawaiification is like, it's kind of self-explanatory. I think I made up a really great term for it, actually. It's when you make something like really cutesy and ignore the either like the intense aspects, because there's a lot of intense stuff in the Bible, or the weird aspects, or the deeply troubling aspects of it. A little background on me: I used to be a Christian. I still have some level of respect for it. I kind of like the Catholic Church. My grandmother's Catholic. I go to church with her once in a while, and I can get down with that. I can get down with the respect and the reverence for something like beyond us. A great example of like what I think is good Christianity is the new Knives Out movie that just came out. Whoa, yeah. Best movie I've ever seen that depicts faith, because it showed like what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like, here was a great example of a guy who was like, pure in heart and lived the way he was supposed to. Let's follow that example. Let's give to people who need it. Let's be kind to people, that sort of thing. And that, if that's how you believe, that's awesome. And this is kind of unpopular with people who are like atheist or just not Christian. I actually think that praying is like really good. I still pray sometimes. And I don't pray to any specific thing, but to ask, like to kind of like humble yourself and ask something bigger and greater, like that's a really deep and beautiful thing, and I think that's part of the human experience. So I still have some level of respect for Christianity, but a lot of it is just weird and it disturbs me. So we're going to go into that, by looking at a bunch of art. And I'm sorry for the artists or the people who are involved in whatever I'm about to show you. I don't want to be rude to them, but I am going to analyze like what's going on in their psyche because I've been there. I stopped being a Christian when I was about 17, and I am 23 now, so it's been a while. Ooh, I should turn off my notifications in case I don't want you guys seeing into my personal life. Okay. Yeah, this is a great one. Leviathan Slayer, it says on the sword, and this is Jesus, and it has a quote that says, in that day the Lord with his great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan. He shall slay the dragon. Okay, here's what bothers me about this. Art is fine. I actually think, it looks pretty good. But the concept of, imagine I create like a sand castle and I have like a little toy dragon that I'm like attacking the castle with, and I'm controlling it, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna destroy this dragon, and I break the toy that I like made or that I was making do the bad thing in the first place. It's like, Jesus really, in the context of this image, Jesus really sat up there in heaven, designed a dragon, and was like, ooh, that thing is evil. I've got to kill it with my sword. I'm the cool guy now. What? Like, you turned him into an anime character. This would be cool if Jesus were just a guy. If Jesus were just some dude, without not being God. But Christians believe that he's God. So it's like, I created this thing that I am now going to kill with my sword, and that you should all thank me for it. Weird. Let's see. Oh, this one cracked me up. This is actually, we're already getting a little off course here. But being Christ-like means being tolerant and forgiving. Okay. However, Jesus had boundaries. Did he? However, when Nazareth tried to kill him, he never returned. Okay, so when Nazareth tried to kill him, he never returned, so that means that he has boundaries. But when he actually got killed, he, laid on the cross and let them nail his hands. Sorry, trigger warning. I read the Bible. Are we seeing a discrepancy here? He told Peter when he had crossed a line. He called out leaders for hypocrisy. That's not a boundary. He refused to speak to Herod. Okay. Clear boundaries are Christ-like. Listen, I love boundaries. I think, you should always advocate for yourself, but I don't think he's a great example of that. This is the turn the other cheek guy. This is somebody who's like, if they're gonna beat you up and persecute you, you gotta let it happen because that's from God. I don't think that speaks strong boundaries to me. And I don't know where this person got it from. This is an example of somebody with a modern way of thinking projecting it onto something that's ancient. Boundaries weren't a thing back then, especially for, like, if you were a woman, boundaries didn't exist. And the people who wrote the Bible didn't think they existed. Or if you were like a child, boundaries didn't exist for children. Maybe they existed to some degree with men, but probably not the regular, like, working class guy. Like, if some, political leader back then, came to your house, beat you up, and stole your money, you would just have to take that because that's how things were back then. Even if you were a hardworking guy, you couldn't be like, actually, you can't do that to me, because that wasn't the reality of that back then. So yeah, Jesus was not a great example of strong boundaries. Ooh. Tone pivot. I need a minute. Yeah, I don't know exactly what to say about this one. I'm guessing this was maybe a teenager. Actually, no, because it's the Barbie show that was a thing when I was like 10 years old, so this can't be a teenager. This is an adult making this. I'm guessing at least like a young adult making this. And how covered in the Holy Spirit I want to be. Didn't flinch at all at that. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into it. Here's one. Again, nice art. But why are we drawing him like an OC? Why are we drawing him like an OC? This makes me a little uncomfortable, even when it's just like a celebrity, if you draw them all chibi-ified. Because, like, that's a grown-ass man. And first of all, grown-ass man, right? Okay, you want to wifeify him, you want to chibi-ify him, you want to, that's okay. This is your Lord and Savior, apparently? This is your God? This is why, I don't know what kind of genre of Christianity who made this, but this is why specifically, like, evangelical Christians fascinate me, and why I find it easier to respect more traditional forms of Christianity, like Catholicism. Maybe it was a Catholic who made this. I don't know. But the cutesy-ifying of the crown of thorns is like that. I don't know, that kind of rubs me the wrong way. And you know, I just don't think other people in other religions depict their holy figure like this. I don't see Muslim people doing this. I don't see Hindu people doing this. I've seen some pretty like badass Hindu art, and that's cool. But the cutesy-ifying, like, I've never seen a chibi version of a Hindu god, you know? So why are we doing that to Jesus? And from someone who claims to follow him. This one, again, how do you misunderstand the term rose-colored glasses so severely? Rose-colored looking at the world through rose-colored glasses means like you're blinded, kind of. You're just kind of seeing an illusion. So Christ wants you to see the world through an illusory lens? He wants to just sugarcoat everything? First of all, that goes against the character of Jesus. Second of all, I don't see how that would be a good thing. Let's move on. Oh, this one, no! No! You can tell it's made by a Christian too. Like, honestly, if you're putting Jesus in Roblox, I'm gonna think you're committing like blasphemy or something. Why am I like more Christian than this is messed up. This is a man who lived, guys, this is a man who lived thousands of years ago, who got tortured to death, and you're putting him in Roblox with his torture wounds. And you're putting his Hebrew name under it? Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, but like, there's a problem if I feel like I have to be more respectful of Jesus and I don't even believe he's God, you know? I feel like there's a problem. This one's kind of silly. Oh, no, I remember why I didn't like it, because his hand, I thought that was blood for a second, but somebody in the comments said that he was turning it into wine. That's fine. I don't know who these people are in the foreground. Maybe the artist or some anime characters, which would be weird. This one I found a bit confusing. I remember I had a bunch of thoughts on this one time. I like really studied it. Let's see. Church bride. She's dressed very modestly. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Ooh, wounds caused by the persecution and the spiritual wars. Okay. Oh, this is made by a Catholic. Okay. Veil, symbol of submission. Interesting. You know, it's very interesting art to look at, but I just feel like this is that kind of thing where it's like, we are so hurt, and you know, the world hates us, and look at how pure and holy we are because we endure it. Yeah, and you know, the shaved head, some people were like, this is not, oh, here it is. I think the church bride should have long hair, since in one verse it says that long hair is a sign of submission to the Lord. Okay. It's like this person tried to do something, you know, kind of original and cool. I think I still don't really like the way it looks. I don't know if it's a great character design, but they tried to do something interesting, and then other Christians in the comments are like, well, girls have to have long hair. Okay, now we're on to the artist who started this whole thing, and I'm really sorry. This is beautiful art. I think she uses that looks like markers maybe. Great stuff. Look at that detail. That's beautiful. I really like the shading on the skin. You know, that's very pretty. But the content of it and the framing and the messaging is not so great. And I want you to just look at a few of these and imagine you didn't know this was Jesus. What would you think is happening? You know? What would you think is going on? Here's a collage. Oh, wait. That's not all her art. That's multiple people's art. Gotta find some more. Okay, this one really got me. So what would you think is going on? I would say that this is a romantic relationship. You know, they're looking at each other lovingly. He's very comforting. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? What is going on here? Am I seeing? Yeah, this literally looks like they're in bed together. Like she doesn't even have a top on, and he doesn't have one either, and they're chest to chest. Like and am I crazy? I'm not trying to sexualize something that isn't sexual. I'm saying maybe they have some repressed stuff going on here. As much as you want, right? She's giving her heart. And he has a hole in his chest as if he like needs her heart. Like Jesus has a heart. Yeah, this one, I didn't like this one at all because she has what literally looks like a baby doll nightie on, like lingerie, and she's kind of like infantilized while being sexualized. I'm not saying that's the intent of the artist. I think that the intent was very pure, but you have to understand the subtext and the imagery that you're using. This dress is not just, you know, a regular, like she's just wearing a white dress like that looks like lingerie. Maybe I'm taking it too far. I don't know. You guys can tell me. Look, they're cuddling, you know? This looks like a picnic date between two young people. The depiction of him as a handsome 30-year-old guy is you know, possibly because that's what a young woman wants. Yeah, and I think she does commissions, and that's why it's always a white girl with this darker skinned man, this handsome darker skinned man, and it's like I don't know, something's a little funky here. So yeah, let's go back to this one. Maybe this could be interpreted as best friends. We can give it that. But I do find it a little weird how it's like drawn in this sort of anime style where he doesn't actually have any features that a person from that region would have. Like if you, this might be a criticism of the art actually. If you look at their faces, they're drawn exactly the same way. He has like a very small nose, like wide mouth, and the anime eyes. Like, I appreciate that the artist tried to depict him with dark skin and hair because that's how he probably would have kind of generally looked. But I also think that in a weird way, it's almost like a whitewashed version of a darker skinned man. Yeah, and I think, you know, depicting him as handsome too is kind of a problem. Hey, I've read the Bible, guys, can you tell? I'm coming off as way more Christian than I actually am. I'm sorry. In the Bible, it describes him as not being that great looking. There's a verse that says, I can put it on screen if I remember. There's a verse that says he didn't have any physical beauty to, like, wow us with, essentially. So, actually, that's biblically inaccurate, guys. Ooh, this one. Anyway, let's move on. Jesus, you started to believe The things they say of you, you really do believe this talk of God is true, and all the good you've done. Don't care. Christ is Lord. Tell me you're a mean girl without telling me you're a mean girl. Hold on. Tell me you're a mean girl without telling me. If you honest to God compare yourself to, no pun intended, to Fluttershy, you're a mean girl. I'm not forcing my religion. I'm spreading the gospel because I love you. This is how they see themselves. This is a yeah, and if don't go into the comments on these things, because you're gonna get ready for a fight. Oh, actually, wait. A lot of people are raising good points. Saying to an atheist God loves you is offending and harmful. I don't know. I don't agree with that. If a Christian says God loves you, that's fine. It depends on what their intent is. If they see me at like a pride event and they're like, Jesus loves you, turn to Jesus, like Jesus wants you to come back to him, I'm gonna be like, this is unsolicited and weird, because the subtext behind that is not Jesus loves you. It's you need to stop doing what you're doing because it makes me uncomfortable. So it depends on what the intent is there. This is AI? No, it's not. This is another case of just kind of infantilizing yourself, Whatevs. Who is this dude? Okay, that's actually kind of funny. But wait, no, it's not kind of funny. Because don't appropriate gay slang when you know you wouldn't accept the gay that it came from, okay? So it's not funny. I changed my mind. Reminder that cussing is a sin. This is probably made by a kid. I can't. No, it's not made by a kid, because that's the strawberry shortcake that was a thing when I was a kid. This is how I know. Permanently trapping yourself in a state of adolescence. This is just my theory. My theory is that these people are like, let me use all of this childlike imagery and cutesy imagery to cutesyify my religion, when the Bible is not cutesy. That's my thesis. Ooh, what is this? What is this? Oh, no. Okay. I was wrong. For some reason, I thought this was the gay mouse from the TV show Arthur, and they like made him have a wife. I was wrong. Ignore me. Okay. If the real Jesus were alive today, would he listen to Hatsune Miku? It's a question. It's a good question. Me, when someone makes fun of Jesus. When has anyone ever made fun of Jesus? Genuinely. Can you think of one time? Maybe somebody made fun of you. Maybe somebody made fun of you for like, oh, why do you do that weird thing? Like, I don't know. I can't even think of a great example. I've never heard anyone in my entire life make fun of the character of Jesus. I've definitely heard people make fun of Christians. And making fun of a Christian is not the same as making fun of Jesus. Because there would be no reason to make fun of him. He's just a character in a religion. Don't like this. I don't like it because it's just, this is one of my art pet peeves. So this is not really related to Jesus at all. I don't like this style of art. It looks like derivative of kind of that era when Disney was trying to copy DreamWorks a little bit. And so they were like, oh, wait, we're really cool with our shape language and stuff. And it's like, oh. Oh, this one. Bestied so hard, he literally died for me. For me? For only you, right? Right. You're besties. It's just a parasocial relationship. Listen. I am no stranger to parasocial relationships. You see this man right here? This is Weird Al. This is Weird Al. Oh, love of my life. I met him, and he was, guess what? He was 65 years old. And I had to look that man in the face and know that I have a poster of him on my wall right up there as a delicious 40-year-old guy that I pray to every night. No, I'm kidding. That I've idolized him, right? I have fantasized about going on stage with him and playing the accordion. What else have I done? I have imagined an alternate universe where that guy was my boyfriend. I briefly imagined it. So I know. But when I met the 65-year-old Weird Al, all of that had to go out the window because that's a real dude. That's a real man with a wife and kids. This isn't about me. If anyone watches this video, I'm gonna get so, canceled. But yeah, that's a real guy, you know? And it kind of strikes me as insane that, first of all, you would call the God of the universe your bestie. Your bestie. So from their perspective, it's weird. And also from my perspective, thinking this was just, a random kind of crazy, maybe a little crazy. I'm sorry, I'm not being rude. I just think, let's call him a bit of an extremist personality. Just a random guy from thousands of years ago, who used the bathroom and who probably only got to take a bath once every couple weeks and who had to cut his hair and trim his beard. This was a real dude. And you're like, wow, I can't believe that we're best friends and he died for me. And I'm gonna draw myself as a little toddler holding on to him. Something wrong with that. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to pick on all of these. I do feel bad. And I feel bad that I'm using this one artist as an example a lot. And I want to reiterate, the art is very nice. There are some issues with the art, and I'm an artist, so I can say what I want about that, but I'm not going to go there. It's just the ideology behind it that's bothersome. So this one makes me sad. So it looks like the main character represents the artist, I'm guessing. Saying, "Oh, daughters of Jerusalem, I am lovesick." Okay, so translation, oh, I have a crush. What is this? Clack, clack? What the frick? Oh, this is weird. So they're like statues, right? And she's sitting there in a short dress, and the statues come to life and cover her up. And they say to her, "Do not stir up nor awaken love until it pleases my darling." This was something that I used to hear back when I was in church. Don't stir up or awaken love. What they mean by that is don't have any sexual thoughts. And don't go too crazy over a guy. I can get behind one of those things. Don't don't make him your entire existence, you know, don't chase after him so much that you start to like lose sight of anything else. But people are going to have sexual thoughts. Not me, because I'm asexual. That was really weird. People telling me, you can't have those lustful thoughts. And I was like, okay, I better not have any lustful thoughts. And the extent to which my lustful thoughts would go to was like, I'm holding hands with this guy. Oh no, I can't think that. Again, not about me. But most people are gonna have a sexual desire now and then, so I've heard. And they act like if you just don't think about it or don't stir it up, that it'll just go away. And what it means to until it pleases is until God pleases to send you your love. But how are you ever gonna find the love of your life if you don't have a crush or don't date somebody? It's all messed up. It's all freaking messed up. Let's see. Okay, don't know what that is. Oh, I hate this one. Jesus watching people write Bible fanfics, the Gnostic Gospels. I wish that I could just give these Christians a glimpse into the past so that they could realize that that religion, Gnosticism, was exactly as valid as what they believe in now. There is no real difference between those other gospels and the ones that we believe are canon now. I mean, technically they were a little bit later, but it doesn't really matter because all of it was well after Jesus's time. That reminds me of those demon animated shows where all the angels are evil and Lucifer is the good guy. I hate how the demon characters are portrayed as cool and the angels are bad, and also they sin? What? I'm sorry. These are probably kids. I feel bad. I make fun of it because I was there and I used to get so scared. I was so sensitive to something being like evil, you know? But I had to grow up eventually and realize that it's called writing a story, you know? Like, for instance, Good Omens. That's not reality. Clearly, those people don't exist and stuff, and we can have those messages that they're sending divorced from the Bible. Like, it's not saying that that's how the Bible is, you know? Yeah, this one is just Millennial Central. It's not funny. Like, it's not funny. It's just cringe. Oh, this reminded me. I want you to take a look at this. I'm gonna let you just look at this for a minute and see if anything jumps out to you. I'll wait. Okay. I have to sneeze really bad. Okay. First thing I noticed. I'm sorry if I'm being too woke here. Who is the darkest skinned character on this page? It's Rahab. Rahab was a prostitute. Who is the lightest skinned characters on this page? Jesus, Moses, and David. David especially. David has red hair. As far as I know, David was not Celtic, guys. So why are we depicting, the morally superior characters with lighter skin tones? With the exception of maybe Esther here. All of the characters who lived good lives have the lighter skin tones. Disturbs me a little bit. Nice art otherwise. Rahab is kind of slay. Her hair is really pretty. What's this? Okay, that's actually really cool. Never mind. Oh yeah, this is someone getting married. Getting married to... Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. Is this... Oh, no. Okay. That's Mary. That was like... I thought that was like a freaking wedding with 3 people. POV. POV. Me and Jesus in heaven. Whatever, it's fine, it's fine. This was definitely not made by a Christian. I can tell because of the gay art style. This kind of makes me mad too, though. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of don't like the way his face is drawn. Sorry, whoever made this. That's kind of cool. Jesus would probably have an electric guitar. He probably would have. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Jesus. You would have loved electric guitars. What else? This one just bugs me. I have a lot to say about the Chosen show. If anyone has made it this far in this video, first of all, I don't know how. Second of all, tell me if you want me to make a video about The Chosen. This is fine. A lot of these are just filler. I was saving so that it would give me more of them. This is just, you know, Jesus as a comfort character. Is what it is. I just know he gives the best hugs. He probably would. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. We don't know what he was like. I feel like there were more on here. They must have deleted some. Oh, yeah, I hate this one. Yeah, let me, how do I tell the Bible stories in a funny, ironic, and modern way? Minecraft. It's like, how would I put these people in an environment that I control, and essentially I control them because they haven't gotten the power to think for themselves yet, and they do exactly what I knew they would do, and now I have to kill them, because that's the way it is. I don't want to, but I must, because I am justice. It's so messed up. Oh, this. For those of you who haven't read the Bible front to back as I have, there's a very messed up story where this family gets kicked out of their town because God is burning it to the ground, and so they run away. And the mother dies because she happens to glance back at her home, the only place she's ever known, as it's getting destroyed, and God is like, oh, and he kills her. And so the people who are left are the father and his 2 daughters. First of all, let me preface this with what happened beforehand is some people were trying to R-word his angel guests that he had in his house, group of men, and the father was like, no, you can't. I will protect them because I'm righteous. Here, take my daughters instead, right? So he was gonna let this group of men R-word his daughters. All right, let's move on. So what happens when they leave the city? The city's destroyed. They're stuck in a cave. And his daughters decide to, because they need to bear him a son to keep the bloodline going, give him too much wine. Who knows how they found the wine in a cave. And you can fill in the blank there. Disgusting story all around. From the burning down of the city to the angels getting there and the whole city trying to R-word them, and then the dad saying, no, take my daughters instead. And then, of course, what the daughters do to him is disgusting. Okay? We can agree on that. Yeah, like that is the face I'm making. But I'm not making that only to that part. I'm making that face to the person who orchestrated it. God. I mean, well, God, but apparently God orchestrated this whole thing. So, it doesn't strike you as a little weird when you're like, wow, this was a very different time and this culture was really messed up and don't do things that are okay nowadays because we have different morals nowadays. You don't think, maybe that was just a story for back then. You think, yeah, I gotta learn something from this. And I have to apply this to my own life. And it has really great lessons to teach me. Can't you see how the entire story is reprehensible? Not just the part that first of all, I think this is a little bit of misogyny, because if you grew up and you were almost R-worded a bunch of times, maybe you wouldn't know what the frick to do with yourself because you were oppressed. And because you thought that you had to bear him a son. Because you were worthless if you didn't. And you would get sold off probably. Okay, this one kind of pissed me off. I'm sorry. Yeah, more cutesifying. More Kawaiification. Oof, I gotta calm down from that last one. Attacked with demonic dreams 3 times in a row. Don't you hate it when that happens? Aw, heck nah. You want prey? Sleepy. I apologize for my millennial impression there. But like, to live in a world where you think that you're getting attacked by demons and not just having a nightmare. I don't know what they mean by demonic dreams. Like, oops, I had a scary dream, or do they mean like a sexual dream? Because I don't know. Cringy. Yeah, this one makes me cringe because it's just like, it's just ugh. I'm getting tired, guys. What? What? What does this mean? I forgot about this one. He's giving us a blood transfusion. But it only works for some people. Not everyone. Okay. I think we've hit the important points. If I find some more, and I'm sure I will, because every day that I go on Pinterest, I am astounded by what I find. Maybe I'll make another video, or maybe I'll make a video about a similar topic. Oh my gosh, my mouth is so dry right now. Do I have any closing thoughts? Yeah, I don't think I need to do any more disclaimers because I think I have made my thoughts clear. Sorry to the artists, sorry to the people who made these things. If there are any children who have made these memes or captions or pieces of art, it's not, I feel bad because I feel like, when we're kids, we just kind of repeat what we've been told. So, yeah, that's about it, I guess. It's pretty wild, pretty fascinating to me. I hope you got something out of this. Thank you. Good night.